where we put misconduct on display, explore police and legal content, protect rights, and demand accountability. This episode is brought to us by BP Visit. Be sure to check the link below, subscribe to his channel, and give him the credit he deserves. I end this episode. Auditor BP heads to Links Lu and La to film with his camera and drone. Almost instantly, a worker rushes out, demands he stop, and calls the police without hesitation. When officers arrive, one completely mishandles the situation, wrongly trying to charge the auditor with antisocial behavior for simply filming in public. This is one of the worst officers I've seen.
Just make a little video on Bot Free Group at the moment.
What for?
Oh, just for social media.
No, I don't want it done, thanks.
Oh, I'm doing it.
Well, it's our company and I'm asking you not to do it.
Well, I can see it from the road, so...
Yeah, well, can you not film, please?
Well, I will, but I will also...
Call the police, because you're not...
Call the police for someone with a camera?
Well, yeah, because you've done it to them over there.
Yes. And I got my drone as well, so we'll be sending the drone over to get some drone footage, so...
You're not doing it?
If you're doing 911, not 999, 101, sorry.
999.
999?
Yeah,
what, are you going to report? A man with...
Please.
Oh, let me hear this. Man with a camera.
Please. It's harassment.
You've come out and harassed me, I'm not harassing you.
Hi there, and there's just on the industrial estate in Louth, and there's a strange chap walking around filming businesses and says he's sending drones up and taking footage and just, well, being pretty nosy.
The worker immediately calls the police on the auditor, describing him as a strange chap recording businesses. However, there is nothing unusual or suspicious about what the auditor is doing. He has clearly explained his purpose, making it obvious that he is not trying to hide anything. The worker also tells a call handler that the auditor is being nosy, but curiosity is not a crime. Public photography is perfectly legal, and simply taking an interest in a business does not justify a police response. This is yet another case of uninformed individuals wasting police time over a lawful activity simply because they don't like it. Instead of handling the situation rationally, the worker immediately escalates it, showing a complete lack of understanding of public rights. Now the police arrive and put on a shocking display of authority, prioritizing emotions over the law as they attempt to wrongfully charge the auditor.
Called?
Yep.
About somebody matching your description?
Absolutely, yeah, I'll give him the video. I'm stood there when he called. I think it's this one that called you, wasn't it?
So, what's the crack? What's going on?
Just doing a bit of videoing today.
Sorry?
Just doing a bit of videoing today.
Okay, what's the purpose of the video?
My purpose, really.
No, what's the purpose of the video?
Sorry? No. My purpose, really. Thank you.
What is the purpose of the video?
Do I have to answer that question?
Well, yeah, because it may be that you're breaking the law by if you...
Doing what? What law do you think I've broken?
Well, we'll start with GDPR rules.
Okay, that's nothing to do with the police. Is it?
Is it not?
No. And it isn't anyway, because I'm public. I'm in public. I can film anything I can see in public, can't I?
Yeah, you can film in public,
yep.
But if you're overflying private premises and videoing stuff that's on there, then that becomes a little bit of an issue.
No, incorrect, officer. I'm sorry, you're incorrect.
During the exchange, the officer makes an absurd claim, insisting that the auditor has broken the law with GDPR rules. Without hesitation, the auditor shuts him down, making it clear that GDPR has nothing to do with law enforcement. The General Data Protection Regulation is designed to regulate how businesses and organizations handle personal data. It does not apply to private individuals filming in public spaces. Despite this being a basic legal distinction, many officers still don't understand it, wrongly using GDPR as a catch-all excuse to challenge public photography. Rather than focusing on actual laws, the officer is grasping at straws, throwing out legal terms he clearly doesn't understand in an attempt to justify unnecessary intervention.
So every aeroplane, hot air balloon, glider goes over, they're not allowed to video, is that what you're saying?
Well, aeroplanes won't be able to pick up as much detail as a drone over the flight in some specific premises.
Small aeroplanes.
What is the purpose behind? What interest do you have in filming?
It's mine. I like industrial estates, so I go to industrial estates making videos of companies I find interesting. Are you recording? It's flashing. There's a green light flashing.
Yes, it is.
Is that recording?
It's flashing red, then I'll be recording.
Right, okay.
The green is not recording, so
right,
what law
because we don't know, you see, so we don't know that. So, but if you are not recording, that's fine. But you would have, one of your procedures you would have broke if you hadn't told me that.
Why is that?
Because you have to inform me. As well, you mentioned GDPR.
I can film anything I want in public. You've just come back.
No, not you. No, you're filming it as a company. You're an officer working for the law. You have to, via GDPR rules, you have to tell me. Like the sign on the gate there saying they're filming people.
Rather than acknowledging the point, the officer tries to be clever, parroting the auditor's own words back at him. I can film anything I want in public. But his attempt to outsmart the auditor completely backfires. The auditor schools him instantly, reminding him that as a police officer, he is subject to GDPR regulations, which require officers to inform individuals when recording with body-worn cameras. This moment perfectly exposes the hypocrisy many officers operate under. They challenge public photography when it suits them, but ignore their own obligations when it comes to accountability.
GDPR works that way. Do you not understand that GDPR works that way?
Okay. So, what are we going to do about you filming? Because it's clearly causing annoyance to people.
That's not my problem. I'm in the public area filming. I'm not annoying anybody. They're annoying me, to be honest. They're actually annoying me.
Called the police.
And they're annoying me. They come out and annoy me. He did. They annoyed me. I don't report them because I thought, well, just go back to work and leave me to it. So if you think I'm breaking any laws, then please quote the laws I'm breaking. Because I'm not breaking any law here.
This is a prime example of bad policing, where instead of enforcing laws, officers try to mediate emotions even when no crime has been committed. The auditor is lawfully filming in public, and whether someone finds it annoying or uncomfortable is completely irrelevant from a legal standpoint. Police officers are not feelings enforcers. Yet time and time again, they involve themselves in situations where no law is being broken simply because someone doesn't like what's happening. This officer's response proves he has no legitimate grounds to intervene. So, he resorts to policing feelings in an attempt to pressure the auditor into leaving. But discomfort does not override legal rights. An officer should know better than to act as if it does.
You seem a bit annoyed and that you can't get me on anything. That's wrong, isn't it, surely?
It's not the fact that I can't get you on anything. It's just that if you are causing somebody enough annoyance and they're worried about people's private details being published on the internet and what have you, because there are certain things that are visible from or to your drone camera.
Yeah.
And they are rightly concerned that those will be published on the internet.
Absolutely. Can be concerned. Put them inside. Because anybody, I can go on that public path and fly my drone. I could have done it secretly. I let them know what I'm doing.
Okay. But from their point of view,
yeah,
can you see why it would cause an annoyance if you are entirely in the right and you are exercising your right as a person to do something that they don't want you to do?
Yeah. That's
and
right.
You refuse to stop when you've been asked, even though it's their premises that are affected by your actions.
Well, they said there, we're highly secret, blah, blah, blah. They're a fragrance company. I'm like, highly secret fragrances, really? You know, people really build themselves up to be bigger than they are, just to try to stop people exercising their God-given right, legal rights in this country, legal rights in this country, to video anything I can see from a public place.
Many companies act as though their policies override the law, insisting that filming their premises is illegal, even when it clearly isn't. Security guards, managers, and even employees routinely misuse terms like GDPR, privacy laws, and company policies, despite having no legal basis to enforce them against members of the public. This behavior is rooted in control, not legality. Rather than accepting that public photography is allowed, businesses choose to escalate, threaten police involvement, and waste law enforcement resources, all to suppress a lawful activity they don't like. The auditor calling this out exposes a widespread issue where private entities falsely present themselves as having more power than they do, hoping to scare people away rather than respecting their rights.
I can video anything I can see from public place.
Does it not then become an issue because you can't see it from a public place because your drone is going into a private place to take these images?
It's flying over in the airspace which is controlled by the Civil Aviation Authority, and I obey all the laws for flying my drone. Civil Aviation Authority, there's no restrictions for flying in this area, on this estate, wherever, so I can fly my drone free will all over this place. I feel you're annoyed. I don't understand. You're not the feelings police. You've got to remember this. You're not the feelings police. You're here to feel.
I'm not the feelings police. I just find it incomprehensible that,
But you're like him. It's not up to you to understand what I'm here to do. It's not up to you to understand that, is it? If I'm here and not breaking any law, then basically you need to just walk away and let them know he's not breaking any law. Leave him to it.
What makes this even worse is that the auditor is forced to tell the officer to walk away, something that shouldn't even need to be said. A police officer shouldn't remain at a scene where no crime is happening, lingering purely because they are annoyed or uncomfortable. Instead of acting professionally and disengaging, this officer chooses to stick around, making it clear that their issue isn't with the law, but with the auditor himself. This is a perfect example of poor policing. Instead of upholding rights, the officer is acting as if their personal frustration is justification for staying involved. This is not how professional law enforcement should operate, and it further reinforces the problem of police policing feelings rather than the law.
If a delivery is out in the yard waiting to be picked up, and people's, their clients' details, addresses, and what have you are on display.
Tell me this, officer. Do they have the right to tell me to stop videoing?
I think they've probably got the right to stop you from overflying their premises.
No, you're wrong. You're incorrect.
I think they probably do.
I think you're incorrect.
If you look at the contracts when you buy a house, the property you own, and you also own the airspace above it.
Maybe
it doesn't stop at the roof of the house.
Maybe you do. That's all a bit grey, but...
So if you're overflying their property, then that does become a point where...
Right. Can you hear in the sky?
Sorry?
Can you hear him in the sky? There's an airplane flying over.
Yes, there is.
So has he asked him if he can fly over his property? He's gone over his property.
Just as the officer continues their weak argument, perfect timing delivers the ultimate counterpoint. A plane flies overhead. The auditor immediately seizes the moment, pointing to the sky and asking the officer, do they have to ask permission to fly over someone's property? This completely dismantles the officer's flawed logic in an instant. The officer is left with no response, because the answer is obvious. Airspace is not owned by private businesses. Just like aircraft, drones operating within legal height limits and airspace regulations do not need permission from landowners to fly overhead. This moment highlights the sheer absurdity of the business, and police try to dictate where someone can legally fly. The auditor's quick thinking exposes how weak and uninformed their stance really is, making it clear that the officer had no real grounds to challenge him in the first place.
See, what you're saying is a bit silly. I understand what you're saying. People kind of have this thing, they do own some of it.
Can your drone fly 20,000
I think obviously if they don't want you flying over, like next to their businesses where there's information shown and things like that, I think they're polite, so politely have to stop. Obviously I appreciate you've said it's escalated. If they'd like you to stop, then just want to keep things,
But what about my thing? So what about me? I've come here to make videos and I want to make the video, so what about my thing?
Okay,
what about respect for me?
Could just please not get any kind of private information involved in that.
Well, that's not on me though, that's on them. You can't, if they've left private information out.
If you do publish these videos online,
yep.
Can you make sure that the information is unreadable?
I'll do my best if I think it's confidential, but you can't see anything. I'm 30, 40, 50 metres up. I can't even make faces out, you know what I mean? And everybody goes mad about it. It's ridiculous.
If a company truly has private or confidential material, it should be secured properly, not left exposed where it can be easily seen. Blaming a photographer or drone operator for recording what's visible to the public is completely misguided. The auditor then reinforces his point, explaining that his drone is flying at 30, 40, even 50 meters up, making it impossible to capture fine details like people's faces or private documents. This argument is yet another failed attempt to police lawful activity, ignoring the actual responsibility of the business to protect its own sensitive information. The officers clearly have no real legal grounds, so they resort to hypotheticals and emotion-based reasoning rather than addressing what the law actually says.
No, sir.
I don't get that information out, I'm sorry. Do I need to? Think carefully what you're going to say next. I know there's one answer to this and it begins with N.
Sorry, the answer begins with?
N.
N for?
No. When I said, do I need to?
Well.
No, it's not a well, there's no buts to it. It's either a yes or a no.
It's open to interpretation. It depends, because if I feel that you've been involved in ASB, then yes you do.
ASB?
The Police Reform Act.
What's ASB?
Antisocial behaviour.
Antisocial behaviour?
Yes.
When the auditor directly asks, do I have to? The officer makes a shocking statement, replying, it depends. If I feel you've been involved in antisocial behavior, then yes, you do. The key words here are, if I feel. This statement is deeply problematic because the law is not based on feelings. It's based on facts and legal grounds. The Police Reform Act 2002, Section 50, does allow officers to demand a name if someone is engaged in antisocial behavior, but only if there is actual evidence of such behavior, not just an officer's personal feelings or assumptions. BY saying, if I feel, the officer exposes how dangerously vague and subjective their approach is. This is not how law enforcement should work. Officers can't just decide, based on personal emotion, whether someone must comply with a legal demand.
It'll be on a lawsuit against you. If you arrested me for antisocial behaviour, for a man with a camera, then I think you'll be into a...
Suggesting that having a
I will take you to court. I will take you to court for that.
I'm suggesting, however, that you've been involved in an altercation, either one side or the other, and if I decide that that constitutes antisocial behaviour, then I can require you to provide me with your name and address details.
You can, if you think I've committed a crime. But do you think I've committed a crime?
If you've been involved in ASB.
No, if you think I've committed a crime, you can ask me.
If you've been involved in ASB, that's how it works.
If you think I've committed a crime, if you think, that's right, you're thinking I've been involved in ASB, which is a crime, isn't it? So if you think I've committed a crime...
ASB isn't necessarily a crime, but one of the police powers that we have is to request the information from somebody who's been involved in ASB.
Right.
So you've been involved in an argument because you've refused to comply with somebody else's wishes. You know,
feelings police again. We're back to the feelings police.
This response exposes how officers misuse antisocial behavior laws to try and pressure people into compliance. Simply refusing to do what someone else wants is not antisocial behavior. It's called exercising your rights. If this logic were true, any disagreement could be considered a crime, which is completely absurd. Antisocial behavior laws are designed to tackle harassment, intimidation, and genuinely disruptive conduct, not to criminalize lawful activities just because someone else doesn't like them. The officers' attempt to twist the law into something subjective only proves how badly trained and legally incompetent they are. Instead of protecting rights, they're weaponizing vague definitions to try and justify an intervention that had no legal basis in the first place.
It's not about feelings police. You know, that there has been a confrontation between you and somebody else, okay?
Okay.
That to me is antisocial behaviour.
From his side, correct, yeah.
Okay, so...
So go get their name and address and all the information.
We'll be going over there in a minute.
It's not antisocial behaviour, it's rubbish.
Would you like just to provide your details? Obviously you've said there's been a crime of public order because they've shouted and sworn at you. You don't want to make a complaint. Would you like to provide your details to go on the crime report?
At this time, no. If I get home and I feel that I do need to, when I watch the video back and I do feel that it was bad enough,
Can I
then
give you the instant number then? Just to
yes, please, absolutely give me the instant. Yeah, definitely.
If you'd like to provide your details.
Yep, so I'll write that down. Right, but you won't be getting my name because if I did it anonymously. So if you're thinking that I'm going to do that, so you get my name.
No, it's just obviously if you want to provide your details.
What's the date today?
Is there any particular reason you won't provide your details?
Yes, one massive one.
What's that?
I don't want to.
What would it gain by withholding your details?
What would it gain? Now, okay, right. So let me just reverse that back. So what it would gain for you if I provide my details, that goes straight. It goes. Doesn't matter though, does it? It goes straight on your intel. You put this description, my name, all my details on your intel. I don't want to be on your intel. So
you're doing nothing wrong. What's the harm?
No, you can't use that. No, I have.
That's a question. I'm not using it. I'm asking you a question.
Well, yeah. Well, you can't say if you're doing nothing wrong. Why don't you give your name? That's just rubbish, isn't it? I don't have to give my name, do I?
You don't.
And I don't want to. It's as simple as that.
Fine, you don't want to. But what would be the harm?
I've just told you it'll go on your intel. So it'll go against the incident. It'll go on your intel. I don't want to be on your systems, thank you. Exactly what I say about the recording.
This is a perfect response because it highlights exactly why officers ask for details even when no crime has been committed. They want to gather information and build intelligence records on individuals for no legitimate reason. This is a common police tactic where officers pretend providing details is harmless, when in reality it's about adding people to police databases without cause. An officer has no legal grounds to demand information. Then there is absolutely no reason to give them anything. The Auditor calling this out exposes how officers casually try to collect data on people even when they've done nothing wrong. This isn't about policing crime. It's about policing people.
If you get into trouble, somebody beats you up for the things that you're doing and you won't stop when they ask you to, you get beaten up and then we come across you. How do we know who you are? It might help us.
Well, I think when you come, I'll give you my name then. What?
We don't know. You don't want to give it.
Well, I would if I got beaten up and I'm going to take them to court ready to or get you guys to do something about it, then I wouldn't.
Anything else we can help with?
Not for me, no. I don't. If you want to speak to these guys, but
chat with them over there, and obviously
absolutely.
Well.
Yeah, no problem. Okay.
Very much indeed.
All right. Thank you. Cheers. It's a walk of shame.
The interaction finally comes to an end, but not because the officer realizes mistakes. Instead, another officer had to step in and put a stop to it. This alone speaks volumes about how poorly the first officer handled the situation. Throughout this entire encounter, he displayed a complete lack of understanding of the law, rely on feelings over facts, and trying every tactic possible to pressure the auditor into compliance, from falsely citing GDPR, to fishing for personal details, to twisting antisocial behavior laws. It was clear this officer was more interested in control than in upholding legal rights. There was never a legitimate reason for police to be involved in the first place. The auditor hadn't broken any laws. Yet, the officer still tried to justify an intervention by stretching legal definitions beyond recognition. Instead of respecting the right to film in public, they treated the auditor as a problem that needed to be managed, proving once again that too many officers believe public photography is something they can dictate. This was one of the worst displays of policing yet. A clear example of an officer who didn't know the law, wouldn't back down, and kept escalating when he should have walked away. The only reason this didn't go further was because a second officer stepped in to end it. If anything, this proves exactly why filming the police is necessary. Because without a camera, encounters like this could go completely unchecked. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me continue with my independent coverage. Also, don't forget to check out BP Visit. His channel is linked in the description. Show him some love. Thanks for watching.